Yeah.
We have
Pessimist Molly.
No. Realist.
and then contrarian.
Total. Yeah.
Jim Rutledge here.
It's Murr.
I'm the cloud from It's
Mister
What is that called? He made chicken soup out of chicken poop? No? What is that?
Chicken salad out of chicken.
Yeah. Chicken soup out of chicken poop sounds better.
Like, I'm not going to get on a radio show and talk about it.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Jim Rutledge.
I am not Jim Rutledge.
What?
I'm Molly Brown, alongside Alex Gravatt. And we are joined by our special guest, our special curling friend, Matt Hamilton. How are you?
I'm actually doing good because we're still alive. Last we talked, we were 0-2, and I was on my last life here in this tournament, but we won our last two games, and now in a qualifier game tomorrow morning.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So
Could be a long day, though, so tomorrow is potentially a 3-game day if we win, and if you lose, you're out. But 3 games of curling is like, 8.5 hours of doing stuff, so kind of a big day tomorrow, so I got to get my beauty sleep.
This is Jim, Matt, Molly, presented by Coors Light. Guys, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's crush a Coors,
Coors Light.
You had this staunch look on your face that you were just surprised that I was going to go, I don't know what that was, but
I just wasn't sure if the timing was going to be right with me being, all the way out here in Prince Edward Island. So I was just going to kind of let G go for it, but I couldn't help myself.
So I actually want to dig into your curling schedule for tomorrow. I know we have a lot of Brewers stuff to get into. We have Packers, we have Badgers, we have all the things today. But what does that look like for you tomorrow then? Do you have a time to eat?
So it's 8:30 a.m., 4 p.m., and then right back on the ice at 8 p.m. So I got maybe an hour between my second games. A little more time between the first and the second, but we're checking out of our Airbnb tomorrow, so there's nowhere to go between games. So I don't know what I'm going to do.
What are you going to eat between those games?
Oh, lobster roll. I've been eating a ton of lobster out here. This is seafood heaven out here. So maybe mussels, but I'm getting some seafood for sure.
That's what it takes to be an elite athlete.
Well, I mean, when in Rome, you got to eat lobster rolls. If I was curling in Texas, I'd tell you I was eating barbecue for lunch.
Where is this in relation to Cornwall? Isn't that where you were last time?
Yes, so I'm way further east. Cornwall was Eastern time zone, straight north of New York.
Yeah.
I am even farther east than Maine.
Oh.
So the sun rises earlier for you.
Yeah, we got 2 hours jump on you guys right now. It is 6 p.m.
Dang, you're committed to the show, Matt. Don't ever let anybody tell you different.
Hour. This is the dinner time hour here, so it feels like I'm a big time radio guy out in the island here.
Get wined and dined by Matt Hamilton, lobster roll extraordinaire.
Matt,
oh my gosh!
With you being 2 hours ahead of us, were you able to watch the Brewers game last night when they fell to the Mets in Game 3?
I comfortably went to bed in the 7th inning, thinking there's no way that this team is going to give up this lead. They've been doing such a good job this game. I had that going on my phone. We watched curling on a laptop, and then we had the Falcons game on television. So we were very entertained last night while we were hanging out.
The hierarchy.
Getting ready for bed.
G was just very excited telling me that he has 2 TVs in his living room right now.
Yes.
Not right now. This was a permanent change. So I'm living the bachelor life, right? I've got 2 TVs in my apartment in the living room. They used to be side by side. It was an ugly, horrendous setup, and I decided we're making a change. I switched the entire place around, and I've mounted one television right above the other. So I've got on the big team, there's one that's about 5 inches larger than the other, and on the big screen we had the Brewers game, and on the little screen, which is still 50 inches, we had the Thursday night football game, which was an elite
Unreal
setup.
game.
Elite setup.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's
crazy game too. G, if you need help, you're obviously living the bachelor life, so you can do anything you need to at the TV. But I am now married for 7 years. I have managed to get 2 TVs in the living room during football season. And I would highly recommend doing something like that at some point. I got a 65 and a 55 in the living room, so football season's incredible.
Matt, don't you use an antenna for your TV? Can you even get 2 football games on at the same time?
Molly, I don't know if you know this, but the Farmer 5, there's 2 football games on most of the time on Sunday that you can flip around. Like, I don't get to choose one of them, the Antenna and the Farmer 5. You just get the game you get. And then I get Red Zone on the other one, so I can watch all the other things going on.
I didn't realize you were advanced enough to get the Red Zone package. Okay.
Well, yeah, exactly.
It's
I'm not stealing
2024.
it or streaming it from somewhere. I'm definitely a patron of Red Zone.
You're saying it's 2024, but I think it took until 2024 for Matt to get NFL Red Zone. Like, actually.
Huh.
Like, is this your first season with it, Matt? I'm not kidding.
No, I have done the same strategy I've done lately and found someone who streams it.
It's expensive, that it is.
It is. For like a couple months, and I'm not home most Sundays, so it's not really super beneficial. And it's not like I'm just sitting somewhere else on Sunday. Like I typically am either traveling or curling, so it's not like I even merits having it on my phone so I can watch it, So
Well, I make fun of you because I feel like so many of your Packer core memories that we've talked about have been based on like radio calls, which is interesting.
There's a lot. There is a lot. But fortunately, a lot of those core memories were coming when I couldn't afford to fly anywhere, so I had to drive and I had to listen to the radio call. Now I get to fly in style.
There you go.
In the back of the plane.
Near the bathrooms. But I do want to get into the Brewers' loss last night to the New York Mets. I said it yesterday. I am not the biggest baseball fan. I am not going to be the person that's watching 162 games, 1,000 whatever innings that we calculated yesterday, Ryan. I'm not going to be that person. However, I'm not going to root for the Brewers to lose, obviously. I am rooting for them to win. If they made it to the next round and the next round and then the World Series, I'm in. That's awesome. That's great. I'm excited for Brewers fans. But I left last night's game, I was like you, thinking, oh, they got it in the bag, like they're good. However, I will say, guys, I didn't start watching the game until the 8th inning, so it's
your fault.
It's probably my fault because I am their good luck charm. So
opposite of a good luck charm in the 8th inning, huh? 9th inning, really.
No, once you stopped watching.
No, I watched the 9th inning, unfortunately.
She started.
I had it on.
Oh, my
She's
God.
the jinx.
Yeah.
You're the problem. It's you.
I might be the jinx. But no, I left that game and I was like, oh man, that sucks. I feel for Brewers fans. I know I know it sounds stupid. I know what it feels like as a Green Bay Packers fan. That is the first thing that came to my mind. I know what it feels like to be in this situation as a Green Bay Packers fan. Could either of you relate?
Yeah, and I think you brought up a really good point before the show. We were talking a little bit about it, where this team had very little expectations going into the season, right? Craig Counsell left, and there was some turnover. We all kind of expected it to be a down year, and then the Brewers just tore off and really looked good. And so the thing that's interesting to me is at the end of the Packers season last year, when the Packers lost to the 49ers, we all kind of sat back and we were bummed that the season was over, but we were like, man, that was awesome. We're set up for the future. I feel good about the team. I feel good about the success that we had. And Brewers fans do not feel that way. Like, Riley Yauk came in and he was forgetting sports centers and he was all over the place. And Hunter told me that this was one of the first times he'd ever teared up at the loss of a game. And I feel for him. I do. It's terrible. But I also think you can look at this and say there's so much to build on here. This is an exciting time to be a Brewers fan.
Well, and I mean, it is interesting because I equated it yesterday to the Green Bay Packers season last year, where, like you were just saying, there was no expectation, at least for me. Like, my expectations were, we're going to find out what Jordan Love is. We're going to either see if he's really good or if he's really bad, which is kind of, I mean, we found out he was good. Don't know if he's really good, but he got paid almost $6 million.
Like he's really
right?
good, yeah.
He got paid like he's really good. But it was that exact same thing, that it was just, I was equating it to that because that is what I can relate to.
Yeah, for me, so I obviously not a giant Brewer fan. I'm a fan of the Brewers. But
Careful what you say.
I mean,
People will come after you.
Yeah.
So I phrase it like this. When the Brewers aren't doing well, I'm not paying attention at all. Mm-hmm. When they're doing well, I'm checking basically my ESPN app every day to see how they did and who was playing, yada, yada. Right? I'm not sitting down and watching very many games. I'm living life. They play so many. I'm like, I'm only interested in October. But October rolls around, the Wisconsinite in me kicks in, and I am a fan. And I know that is, the diehards will come at me for that, but you know what? It is what it is. So come at me, give me your best. But for me, what kind of stinks about this team is they had this success. And you're like, they're set up for the future. What is the most classic Brewer things to do? Get set up for the future, trade away your assets. Set it up for the future, trade away your assets. And it just, honestly, the biggest thing that I felt is I felt bad for Jackson Chourio because he had such an amazing season, and to have it end with a letdown like this to the Mets and a wild card series where you're favored to win and probably should have, right? And I just feel for some of the players that, might not be there next year, and who knows where they go. And I don't think Jackson Chourio is one of them yet, but he will be.
I believe he signed like a 10-year contract with the Brewers, so I think he's here to stay for a while.
It was an 8-year, $82 million contract. They got him locked down.
They'll figure something out. They always do. It's the Brewers, guys. But that was my main takeaway. It was such a good season for this team, and sure, there's lots to build on, and like we're confident in our new manager, and I just don't think it's it's just a bummer for some of the guys who aren't going to be there next year, because this team felt like it was something special, and it just kind of fizzled out.
Ryan, you're the resident Brewer fan on the panel. Biggest Brewer fan. You probably watch 160 out of 162 games.
Watched all 9 innings. I think it's 1,024. Hold on.
I think it was more than, I want to say it was like 1,300 something.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's 1,458. Yeah, I watched 1,457. I wasn't up to my same standards this year.
Hopefully you missed the. No, I guess that wasn't the regular season. Okay. How are you feeling after last night's loss?
It was gutting. There's no other way about it. It reminded me of the 2019 wild card series, and that's what really stinks about the Brewers, is that I can draw on like 4 or 5 different memories of like, oh, is this one worse? Was that one worse? And I know everyone's talked about today is like the idea of, are we as Wisconsin sports fans cursed because our teams always lose in the playoffs?
Are we cursed or are we spoiled?
Cursed or spoiled? That's a good way to ask it. I think Brewers fans, if there's an argument for any team in the state being cursed, it would be Brewers fans and the Brewers, because really they're the only team who hasn't won a real championship or even made it to a championship since 1982. And I think that's the reason most Brewers fans feel that way. I'm very dejected about it. Yeah, 5:59 this morning, I was watching a 7-minute breakdown of how Devin Williams was tipping pitches, and that's why Pete Alonso hit a 3-run home run. Yeah.
I was digging into this morning because I heard Gabe Neitzel talking about it on Jen Gibbon Chewy this morning.
Yep, so I was watching it as well, and maybe that's the case. The fact that Devin Williams, being a guy who got 14 out of his last 15 save attempts, doesn't help. The fact that in the regular season, his career has a 1.83 ERA, and in his postseason career, he has 2.1 innings pitched, and his ERA is 23.14, which for anyone who doesn't understand, that means if those 2.1 innings were stretched out over 9, that's how many runs he would give up in those 9 innings based off those 2 appearances.
You said 23?
It is 23.14.
Ugh.
Yes.
There's another reason why I don't like baseball. Too much math.
There's a lot of math. There's a lot of numbers.
Now, here's the thing.
It's a great way to quantify how bad I'm feeling today, how upset I am. That's what's great about baseball, is that if you want to commiserate with it, there's so many stats to commiserate with, and just like there's so many stats to celebrate with when a guy like Jackson Chourio is the first player since Babe Ruth to hit a multi-home run game in the playoffs, right? Or multi-home run game tying home runs in the same postseason game. So, yeah, it's double-edged sword. It's what being a baseball fan is. Me watching all 1,458 innings just so that they can lose in Game 3. Thank you for holding me accountable, Matt. No, it's terrible. All I wanted to do was talk to my dad after the game ended last night. That's what I ended up doing. And
I called my mom, so that's fair.
There you go. That's what it is.
An overtime thriller. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I did too. I flipped right to Amazon Prime when that game was done. I was like, all right, we're watching this Falcons game, which was a good game.
Glad to see you guys. You guys feel just like the rest of us.
I save my heart to be broken until end of January every single year. So that's where I'm at. JJ and Poinette says, I think part of why it feels so bad is that MLB had more parity this year. There wasn't a 100-game winner this year for the first time in years. Contrary to Jim's assertions, it felt like they had a shot to go pretty far. Matt, I do want to ask you, we had a poll question yesterday posted. I like that Ryan puts the blame on Jim for this, but it says,
it was his question.
At Jim Rutledge,
Don't act like it wasn't his question.
wants to know which potential Wisconsin sports loss would make you the most upset. This was obviously prior to the Brewers losing to the Mets, but your options were Brewers versus Mets, Packers versus Rams, or the Badgers versus Purdue. Where would you have voted on that poll?
Oh, it's the Brewers, and it's only because it's playoffs. It's the more meaningful game of all of them. Like I know the Badgers have kind of a must-win right now, where only a short season. I'm not actually, but like compared to like NFL, it's not a very long season, so there's less room for error. But the Brewers, they're in the postseason. They were the favorites to win that game. The Mets were the ones that squeaked in and got the opportunity to play the Brewers. And they let it slip through their fingers, and that's why that game. The playoffs are always infinitely more important in almost every case.
I
can't think of a situation where I don't believe that.
I do tend to agree that the playoffs are super important, and that's what the whole thing is about. But in college football, specifically the way the Badgers are playing this year, there is no playoff. If the Badgers lose to Purdue, there are still games, but they will not win many of them, and they will certainly not make a bowl game. So I think
the Badgers win out, they're still likely not making the playoff.
No, they're not going to make the playoff, but they're going to make a bowl game.
Exactly. So
right?
That's what I'm saying. Like, why am I cheering for the Badgers to get into? I mean, not why. I'm saying if they can't make a shot at a championship, and you've got another Wisconsin team that can, I cannot put that game higher in the importance in my world because of that, for that reason.
The gravity of losing to the 99th best team in college football on the projection of this organization is way bigger. You are in the playoffs with the Brewers, you lose, it stinks. It does, it hurts. But if you lose to Purdue, you're going to lose out on recruiting. You're going to lose out on bowl game opportunities. You're going to lose out on so much more that affects the team moving forward than the Brewers losing this game.
I guess I'm a man of the moment, G.
We'll dive more into this because I do want to pick your brain more about this and the importance of this game that the Packers have against the Los Angeles Rams this weekend. But first, Matt, tell us what you're getting at Metcalf's Market when you get back to Wisconsin.
It's all about that Piedmontese beef, baby. Right now, so actually, I did some shopping before I left. I've got some of those short ribs in my freezer. I cannot wait to get those on the smoker and do a nice slow cook on those because, one, Piedmontese is fantastic. And two, you can only get it at Metcalf's anywhere in Wisconsin. The only place to get Piedmontese beef, Metcalf's Market, Hilldale, west side of Madison, Wauwatosa, because Jim's not here. And I tell you what, like, it's not just about the beef in the meat closet out there at Metcalf's. They've got the specialty cheeses flown in from all around the world. You've got Wisconsin cheeses. You even have the local cheeses. It's fantastic. And the produce, I tell you what, it's amazing. Everything looks super fresh. They've got a huge variety, different peppers. You got all the cabbages. You got anything you could possibly need to make sure you're putting the best fuel in your body. So if you're looking to do that, go to Metcalf's Market and bring local home.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss, I've lost 35 pounds and I'm still hoping to lose more. I'm fitting into clothes I haven't worn in years. I'm feeling naturally more energized. Really, I'm just feeling great. Madison Weight Loss is exactly the program I needed to live a healthier life.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Winter athletes, how are you getting prepared for the upcoming season? Total Athlete Performance is here to take your game to the next level. TAP will get you prepared with individualized speed and strength training sessions available in both the Verona and DeForest locations, as well as remote options. Since 2017, TAP has been providing elite performance training in the Madison area to help every athlete become the best version of themselves. Sign up for your free assessment at tapwisconsin.com. That's tapwisconsin.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House. Enjoy a traditional Friday fish fry at Madison's favorite neighborhood gathering spot, Off-Broadway Draft House.
It is Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly. If you want, you can go to our YouTube stream and go check out Matt jam into some fish. You are jamming. I can't hear you, but you are jamming.
That's on Ryan.
Yeah, it's funny.
Freaking Ryan, do your job.
Funny little thing. These microphones, they just don't want to work sometimes. These buttons.
What were you trying to say? Were you trying to sing to us, or what were you doing there?
Well, no. Fun fact. So I'm at the Grand Slams of Curling. They're kind of doing some new stuff. They got new ownership.
Slams of Curling. Okay.
Yeah, they're like the majors in golf, but for curling. They take the top 16 teams in the world and let them duke it out for a week. And currently we're ranked number 12. No big deal.
Heck yeah.
So the cool part about it is tonight for some of the teams that, stick around, or if you're still in the tournament, they've got like an athlete only karaoke, and first prize is $1,000 and a karaoke belt.
Holy cow.
And two of my teammates are doing it. So
You're not
I was
doing
just
it?
warming up. You've heard me talk. Are you kidding? You think this voice is all of a sudden going to become beautul?
There's some
no
sort
chance.
of raspiness. I mean, like,
Oh, for sure.
Stevie Nicks has a really raspy
Well,
voice. She's
we did have a
beautiful.
good idea. Our teammate Colin, very good singer.
Is he?
gonna
Like,
do
actually?
Yeah, he actually is. He's doing an Elvis Presley song. So Jim, if he was here, he would appreciate. But he's like, Matt, you're the showman. You should just go up and lip sync, and I'll like stand in the corner and sing. You should just like rock out and shake your hips like Elvis. And we're talking about some things. So there might be a video of some embarrassment later, or maybe I'll guard my heart and not do it. But it should be a good time. And yeah, I was just practicing my air drumming for the show tonight.
Have you checked the rules? Would you guys get eliminated for a tag team? No.
Creativity is encouraged. And plus, here's the thing: we know we're going up against some like tough acts. There's a Swedish team that's going to sing ABBA, and all 4 of them are going to sing ABBA, and they're going to be tough to beat.
What would be your go-to karaoke song? Like, if you had to do it.
If I had to,
I feel like you have one because you probably go out and do karaoke at least a couple times a year in McFarland. Like, I actually imagine you doing that.
Actually, Willie Street, and yes, I certainly do make it out to karaoke. Honestly, I like to sing songs I know, so I don't need to look at the prompter. So typically, like 2000 aughts punk rock songs, I'll do like Blink-182, like maybe All the Small Things, or a Green Day song off the Dookie album. Or something like that. So, yeah, because punk rock, you just kind of chant into the mic. You don't really sing.
I could see you doing, like, Cranberries Zombie. I could see you doing that. That's a little raspy.
A little bit. I might have to change the octave and drop her down a little bit. I don't know if I can hit the high note.
I get it. We do have Jason Wilde coming up. So Prime, when do I want to get out of here so then we can give Jason all the time? Because I feel like there's a lot of questions surrounding this Packers team.
There are, but I think we could address the poll question that I did manage to just put in the field.
You posted the poll question. Okay.
I did just post it. We were discussing it in the break a little bit, deciding exactly what candidates we wanted. So it sounds like Romeo Doubs is now listed as doubtful after missing the last 2 days of practice with a personal issue. Matt LaFleur hasn't elaborated whatsoever on what that is. He's just saying it's personal issue, and he's day-to-day right now, and that his status very much up in the air. Obviously, he's doubtful. And then Christian Watson is also listed as doubtful, though it seems like he's definitely going to miss the game with a high ankle sprain.
For sure.
Going back a week later seems impossible, unless he went with Christian McCaffrey to Germany, and they got the same, things injected into their ankles.
Hopefully.
German acupuncture.
There you go.
What do you think that they
Have you
injected
had
them?
German acupuncture?
No, I don't think that's a thing.
Okay. No, it's not. But given that those two guys are both likely going to miss the game, who should be the Packers' number 2 receiver behind Jaden Reed? Should it be Tucker Kraft, Dontavian Wicks, or Bo Melton?
I mean, I think the answer's easy, but
yeah, I do too.
Maybe
I think it's going to be a blowout.
Dontavian Wicks?
Yeah.
That's where I land too. I mean, I'm hoping.
Isn't Musgrave questionable as well?
Ryan, do you know?
He may be. Let me go look.
Also,
I do believe Musgrave is questionable. So
that'd be
down there.
But
too.
he's also buried on the depth chart behind
exactly
behind
Tucker Kraft, everything. See, I was gonna say if there was an answer that I would want, it's gonna be Tucker Kraft because I want to see our tight end just pop off, right? Like we haven't had a chance to see that. He had a couple good catches last week that he was able to get the momentum going for the offense. I mean, because it was Tucker Kraft that fumbled, right? That wasn't Musgrave.
That was Tucker Kraft. After he scored his touchdown, he did get the ball punched out for a fumble.
Yeah, so I would like to see the tight end pop off, but I just don't think that's realistically going to happen, especially with how much love was targeting Wicks last week. I don't know. G, what do you think?
We had Greg Cosell on Wilde and Tausch a few months ago when I was producing, and he was talking about watching all of the film. He works for NFL Films. He's a films analyst, and he said that the 2 players that stuck out is true guys who could be, borderline, if not number 1 wide receivers. They have all the talent, they have all the skill, they have all of the explosiveness you want. It's Wicks and Reed. And so Wicks is going to get his opportunities, and you saw it last week. I think that he still needs to shake off some of the jitters and become a more polished player as a whole because the drops are scary. The not being on the same page as quarterback is scary. But I think that I put this out to you, Ryan, before we actually sent it out. Josh Jacobs does not have a single receiving touchdown in his career. And no, the Rams haven't let one up yet this year. They've let up a ton on the ground, but I think this could be a Josh Jacobs passing game. And as
a number 2?
Not as a number 2, I guess. Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
it's
he
going to
only
be
has
Wicks.
to break a couple big ones to get like number 2 type yardage, right? If he gets like a 40-yarder and a 30-yarder, he's going to be in the mix for the number 2 receiver.
Are we
You're talking
forgetting?
about 2 giant plays.
And are we forgetting that he's not Aaron Jones? Like,
No,
Yeah.
I mean, we are totally forgetting it, but maybe the rest of the league is like, oh, he's not Aaron Jones. Maybe the Rams are like, he's not Aaron Jones. They're not going to throw to him.
I mean, no.
I mean,
yes,
he's got the record for most catches without a touchdown in NFL history.
He's got a
As
record with the
running back.
words most catches in it, man. That sounds like a receiving back to me.
Yeah, G.
Jeez, 2 Packer fans are ridiculous.
No, it's going to be Wicks, then Kraft, and then Bo Melton might have a big play or two. But remember, Bo Melton last year did have the first 100-yard receiving game of any Packers player.
We'll get into that with Jason Wilde next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. But first, let me tell you about our friends at J&K Security Solutions. If I can find it. Ryan, stall for me here.
Ryan's not
There's
even
2
by
other
the
hosts.
microphones.
There's 2 other hosts on the show right now. I thought that was their job to talk.
J&K Security Solutions is a locally owned, family-run business that has been a part of the Madison community for nearly 40 years. Jeffrey and the whole team at J&K care about making sure your home or business is safe and secure, with services ranging from commercial fire detection to commercial security and surveillance. They are dedicated to keeping your business safe. Home services include security and home automation services using Control4. Keep your home and business up to date with our friends at J&K Security Solutions. Jason Wilde, coming up next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
GRB Academy is baseball for the serious player. GRB is hosting its annual Top Prospect Camp on Saturday, October 12th for pitchers, catchers, and position players. This annual event has attracted the top talent from across the Midwest for 13 years. This is your chance to showcase your skills in front of the top colleges in the country, and the camp is open to all players in the 2025 through 2028 grad classes. Visit grbacademy.com to register now. Raise baseball. Raise your game.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
The little one just took her first steps. Her stride? Wobbly. Her parents? Oh boy, here we go. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. So while you're monitoring and protecting her every move, you can do the same for your credit score too. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Mark your calendars. Professional volleyball is coming to Madison with first serve on January 17th. Led by Madison's newest pro team, Love Madison Volleyball. Get ready for non-stop action as some of the world's best players take the court. Featuring silver medalist Lauren Carlini and Annie Drews Schumacher, Love Madison is ready to compete for the season's first championship title. Get your tickets now for this historic first season at lovb.com today. Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring silver medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drews Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from silver medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars. The action kicks off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets today. Volleyball is the next major league.
Make plans now for early October football at the Perk when UW Whitewater hosts UW Oshkosh this Saturday. These national-ranked Division III football powers kick off at 1 p.m. Arrive early for a great game day experience as it's Family Fest in Whitewater. Tickets are available at uwwsports.com. Watch national championship-level college football this Saturday at Perkins Stadium when the Warhawks welcome in the Titans at 1 p.m. for a huge conference matchup. Get tickets at uwwsports.com. Warhawk football, powered by tradition.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We are excited to be joined by Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch. You can hear him weekdays 9 to noon on ESPN Madison across ESPN Wisconsin. I'm joined by Alex G. And, Jason, you might be surprised to hear this, Matt Hamilton's here too.
Matt Hamilton, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm not actually there. I'm actually in Prince Edward Island, way out east in North America. But I am here, present. They were like, we're talking to Jason today. I was like, I can't miss this one. Not again.
What an American hero. Not only is he a gold medalist, but an American hero.
He's going to be
happy to have you.
Fighting for America in a karaoke contest tomorrow.
Tonight.
But will he have sassy and behaving hair like I saw in that photo shoot of him as Cindy Crawford? That's really the question that I have at this point.
Did you think he was naked in those photos when you first saw them? Like, did you think he didn't have a shirt on?
I hoped. Yeah, I hoped. Turned out I was wrong. Yeah, it was. That was something. I'm not that good looking, and I don't have that much hair. I did the grow out when Paula had breast cancer, and she refused to allow me to shave my head in support. I did the opposite then. I said, well, all right, then I'm going to grow it out. And so I didn't cut my hair for like 2 years, and it was not pretty. So you're a handsome man, and I appreciate you making time for me on your show.
Well, my co-host also appreciative that I make time for them. So thank you, Jason. I don't know about the handsome thing, but the hair is on point. So you're right about that.
Jason, Romeo Doubs was listed as doubtful for Sunday's game against the Rams. Do you have any insight into what's going on? All I've seen is that it's a personal matter.
Yeah, that's all we've been told at this point, and it's something I don't know, and I don't, whenever it's something that's personal, I am reluctant to speculate, but I would just say that he was there during the Monday and Wednesday, and then yesterday he was absent, and now he was absent again. So the fact that he's listed as doubtful is disconcerting, to say the least. That's obviously not a great sign about his availability. But this is, if you're going to have two guys be doubtful, because I don't see any way that Christian Watson's playing either. And I don't think Jair Alexander's going to play, but maybe. But if you're going to have guys missing, wide receivers to place on the Green Bay Packers roster. They still have four pretty darn good ones that they'll play with on Sunday. They've got Dontavion Wicks, who did have those 3 drops, but I still can't get over this stat. Just blows my mind that he has been open by Pro Football Focus's metrics on 82.14% of his routes this season. Wow. So yeah, right. Like 4 out of every 5 routes, he's open, and then some. So yeah, dropping 3 balls is obviously less than optimal, but that to me means this is a guy that you can count on to get open. And if you can count on him to get open, then you got to feel pretty good about what he can do if he can actually catch the football. And I am of the belief that was a outlier performance. I think he's actually got really good hands, which was why it was so surprising that he had the issues he did. So you've got him. You've obviously got Jaden Reed, who has become your number 1 receiver, even if they want to pretend that there aren't any number 1 receivers. And then the next 2 guys are pretty productive. I mean, Bo Melton, we've seen, he was the first one to get a 100-yard game for these guys last season. And then they really like what Malik Heath does, not just as a pass catcher, but as a blocker. I don't understand why they felt compelled to put Malik Willis and Malik Heath's lockers right next to each other, because then when you say Malik, they both turn, which is odd. But beyond that, he's a pretty decent fill-in as well.
So it's interesting you bring all of those people up. Our poll question today is if Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs don't play, who will finish as the Packers' second leading receiver against the Rams? Dontavian Wicks, Tucker Kraft, Josh Jacobs, or Bo Melton? Bo Melton catching up to Tucker Kraft, but do you think that Kraft is going to get more, especially if Musgraves isn't going to play? I know he's questionable right now, but is there a chance that Tucker Kraft is our number 2 for this one?
Yeah, and here's the thing. You are, speaking of hot streaks, the questions to Barry Alvarez that elicited that response, like, I don't know how. Are you a product of the University of Wisconsin-Madison's journalism school?
I am indeed.
If not, I would be very disappointed that someone else educated you better than my alma mater did, because that was some impressive stuff, and this is not as impressive of a question, but still a good question. And if Tucker Kraft is the only primary tight end available, if Luke Musgrave can't play, which, last year that guy played through everything. I mean, he lacerated his kidney and kept playing in a game. So it'll be interesting to see what their offense looks like. But Tucker Kraft has clearly moved ahead of him. Tucker Kraft has clearly been a significant target for them so far this season. So I would anticipate, A, that they would want to get him the ball, and B, that the Rams would say, this is a guy we can't let get the ball as much as he's been getting it from Jordan Love and Malik Willis.
So, Jason, my question for you, with how rough the Packers defense seemed to do in the first half, I didn't see it last week. I was curling and I was getting updates, and it sounded really bad. So I can only imagine. Way to keep your
priorities straight. Way to keep your priorities straight, Hamilton.
Well, I just want to be real honest, because people will call me out. They're like, you didn't even watch. And it's true. You're right. I couldn't watch until the fourth quarter. But it didn't look good. Have you spoken with Halfley or anybody on this defense on how they're going to make some adjustments for the Rams? And, not to say that Sam Darnold's not playing fantastic, because he is, but we're going up, in my eyes, a better quarterback who can do more at the line of scrimmage. So I'm a little nervous, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm looking past the Rams, because, well, I guess I can, right? Because I don't work. I'm not a player, so I can get ahead of myself. But I mean, they don't have Puka Nacua. They don't have Cooper Kupp. Those guys are both injured. So, if they get beat and their defense looks bad, I mean, their offensive line is banged up and has struggled too. Like, this feels to me like a get-right game for the defense. Like, I asked a couple of questions of Halfley yesterday about Rashawn Gary, and, he predicted a big game for him. And it feels like a game where that's a really good prediction, because I don't think this offense is very good right now, missing some really key pieces. And so this feels to me like an opportunity for them to be kind of like the Tennessee game, right? They came out of those first two games, and obviously Indianapolis has been up and down at best and not very good at worst. And we saw what happened in the opener in Brazil. And then they go to Tennessee, and they look like, the monsters of the Midway, 8 sacks. And, I mean, it was like 3 guys at a time attacking Will Levis. Like, they were having, like, defensive line meetings standing over his body after they sacked him. And so, that was a really good game for them. And I think this one has the makings to be like that as well, because Halfley even said it. Like, a week ago, you guys are talking about how did we manage to get 8 sacks. Now you're talking like we don't know how to rush the quarterback at all. And, again, Rashawn Gary has not been productive. That doesn't mean that he's not trying hard. That doesn't mean that he's not going to regain his form. But, they need more from him. And I love the quote from Halfley that said, he needs to do more for us, and we need to do more for him. And so I would think that they would be putting together a package that will allow him to get more one-on-one matchups, and then he's got to go win them to get kind of off the schneid of the first 4 games.
I do want to follow up just a little bit. The Packers are still tied for 8th in the league in sacks, and a lot of that was at Will Levis's, problem. But is there a chance that we're overblowing this, that the stats are just – and I'm a big stats guy, but is there a chance that the stats are just a little too much right now?
No, I mean, you know, they had 2 sacks in the game against Minnesota. And Minnesota's got a good offensive line, don't get me wrong. But both of them were by people other than defensive linemen, right? The one was by Quay Walker on a blitz for a 13-yard loss, and the other one was the Keyshawn Nixon one where he blindsided Darnold and forced the fumble. Now, those are both big, big plays, and they count. I'm not saying they don't count in the on the stat sheet, but what the issue is that this defense, Alex, is predicated on getting pressure with 4 and not having to blitz. And when your sacks are coming from guys that are blitzing, it means you're making yourself vulnerable in other areas, which is what Jeff Hafley is trying to avoid. I would also add this. The one guy who's been the most productive from a defensive line standpoint is Devontae Wyatt, and he ain't playing either. Mm-hmm. So, again, I still think this is the kind of game that, and I'm stealing this from Homer, who I thought put it best, if you are the team that you think you are, then you should throttle the Rams on Sunday.
We are trotting. We are chatting with Jason Wilde.
We're going for a trot.
You make me all nervous. We're chatting with Jason Wilde of Wilde and Tausch. You can hear him weekdays 9 to noon on ESPN Madison. Jason, I do want to bring it back to Musgraves.
How nervous I make you?
Yes, that too. I want to bring it back.
I haven't had that effect on a woman in a very long time.
Hey-o!
I do want to bring it back to the Green Bay Packers offense and Musgraves. What's up with him? Like, he's continuously losing snap. I mean, I don't know how to ask that in a better way, but
no, that was great. I have this image in my head though of Jason Sudeikis dancing in his Adidas sweatsuit during "What's Up with That? What's Up with That?" on Saturday Night Live. What's up with that is Tucker Kraft. Hey, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, because only old people like me watch Saturday Night Live.
I actually love SNL. Jim Rutledge has gotten me onto SNL lately, so I don't know the ones. I don't know the ones from like the 90s and early 2000s and all, even up until like end of last year, probably.
So I highly recommend Googling Jason Sudeikis, "What's Up with That?" and watch. He does the same dance on Ted Lasso. So it's that dance, but it is. It's impressive. Anyway, it's a lot more impressive than Luke Musgrave's contributions.
Yes.
And look, I'm a Luke Musgrave guy. Like I think he's got all the qualities you want in a tight end. He's big, he's fast, he's strong. What he isn't at this point is apparently a good enough blocker for them to put him on the field more than Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft has just moved past him. Like at this time last year, Tucker Kraft was the one who couldn't get on the field, right? Like Musgrave was out there all the time, and now the script is flipped, and so I think Tucker Kraft had 65 snaps against the Vikings, and Musgrave had 30 some maybe. There's a big disparity there, and yeah, I think it comes down to Musgrave's ability to block and all the different things that come with that level of physicality. They're just getting it much better from Tucker Kraft, and that's why he's playing more. But I would caution this. Tucker Kraft, and I really enjoy Tucker Kraft. His offensive coordinator for a good chunk of his career at South Dakota State was one of Tausch's best friends, Jason Eck, who's the head coach at Idaho now. And I talked to Eck for a while about Tucker, and he's just an impressive dude, and everybody just loves what he brings to the table. That said, he's also a pretty tough guy, and he's been playing with this shoulder injury that he's aggravated multiple times now, and that would make me nervous because of he doesn't have like a half speed or a cautious speed, and if you might not have Musgrave and he's playing with that shoulder, if he messes it up again, it could be a more significant injury. So I don't question his toughness. I don't question his ability. I just hope his shoulder holds up because he's a really important piece for what these guys do.
Okay, last question from me. I guess I'm bringing it back.
What's up with that?
Yeah, well, actually...
I did just Google it. I have the video playing on my personal laptop. Very funny stuff. Very funny stuff, Jason.
What?
Thank you.
I guess I should have asked this when we were talking about the defense, but I didn't think about it until now. what the heck is up with Eric Stokes? I mean, I watched last week's game, and
what's up with that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just gonna. This is just gonna be how all my questions to Jason go now. But I am curious. Like, it's to me watching him last week, and maybe I'm being dramatic, but watching him, especially go up against Justin Jefferson, and just his presence on the field is just non-existent to me. Like,
yeah, he's not very good.
No,
like, look. He's a first-round pick, and as you guys have probably heard Tausch say this before, first-round picks constantly have to prove that they don't belong in the league. Seventh-round picks, like him, have to constantly prove that they do still belong in the league. And look, I don't think Eric Stokes is bad, but he has not been consistent. And the proof that they don't think as highly about him is that when he was sharing snaps with Carrington Valentine, who's missed the last 2 games with an ankle injury, when they had a choice of who to play more snaps, just like we were talking about with Musgrave and Kraft, they were playing Carrington Valentine more, and an appreciable amount more. And so that tells me that that's another guy that they have more faith in. And I don't think anything last week changed based on what he did against Minnesota. And we'll see if Carrington Valentine's available to them as well this week.
Mm-hmm. As always, Jason, thanks so much for taking the time. Have a good weekend.
All right, Wooly, I want the What's Up With That theme as my walk-up music when I'm back on the show
Tuesday?
Monday, Tuesday. I'm always getting shifted around on the show. I never really know when I'm on, but
Well,
next week.
Jason, we're always shifting around, but just know.
What's up with that?
We got it ready.
All right, I look forward to it. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
That was Jason Wilde. You can hear him weekdays from 9 to noon across ESPN Wisconsin. I want to hear from Jim when he tells us about Carbon World Health. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You've heard me talk about Carbon World Health and semaglutide and hormone optimization for a while now. What are you waiting for if you haven't checked it out? And if you have checked it out, congratulations to you. You're probably seeing the results. Sign up for the 6-week experience. See what Dr. Nesta Rodriguez and the whole team at Carbon World Health has to offer, and see if semaglutide, the first FDA-approved weight loss treatment, game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment, is right for you. Or maybe it's hormone optimization. Maybe you're not having that same vigor in the day-to-day life that you've had. Maybe you're not gaining muscle like you used to. Hormone optimization could be right for you. Find out what is right for you in your fitness journey at Carbon World Health.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starry on Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starry on Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience by going to starryonbank.com. Member FDIC.
A slow start for Wisconsin's rushing unit. The Badgers offense ranks 12th in the Big Ten for yards on the ground through 4 games. Luke Fickell wants to move away from a committee to potentially boost those numbers.
I don't know that you can play 4 and 5 running backs. It doesn't give them an opportunity to get into rhythms. What we need to find out is who can get hot and who with more opportunities are going to have a better chance for us. And there's bigger plays that need to be had, and we got to figure out if we're not giving them enough of those opportunities to get it. I can't tell you exactly who that'll be.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
It's a battle for first place in the Badger Large Conference this Friday night on Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania. Join me, Hunter Vaughn, and the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Summerout, as the Sun Prairie East Cardinals host the Wanakee Warriors. Pre-game shows at 6:30 with the kickoff at 7 o'clock right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from my friends at Door County Distillery. It's fall, which means you need to treat yourself right with the apple brandy. Whether you're mixing up a mule or making a Halloween-flavored drink, Door County Distillery has you covered with their delicious, award-winning apple brandy. And if brandy's not your thing, Door County Distillery has a great array of whiskeys, vodkas, gin, rums, and more. Check out their website, doorcountydistillery.com, for the retailer nearest you, as well as a huge list of unique cocktail recipes. That's doorcountydistillery.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
Should I be embarrassed that this is the song that Jason said I reminded him of by asking the question of what's up with Lucas Musgraves and Eric Stokes?
No, that's not what you said. You said Lucas Musgrave. What's up with that? So yeah, it's appropriate.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take it. As long as I give us content for the show, somebody has to.
Whoa.
Matt Savage, don't even. You're in PEI or something like that.
Do you know what the time zone you're in is called?
Atlantic.
It is just called the Atlantic time zone?
Isn't that like the same time zone as Florida?
No, that's Eastern.
So what other places like have
So
the same
America
time zone?
does not have a Atlantic time zone like state or area. It's all Eastern time zone. Once you get past Maine, it goes to Atlantic.
I was in Atlantic in when I was in Argentina last year.
That is neat. Yeah, because it's farther over than everyone thinks. And then here's the crazy thing. Later this year, I should have a tournament in St. John's, Newfoundland. So it's even farther east than I am right now. They are a 1/2 hour time zone change different.
So 30 minutes?
They are 2.5 hours off of Central Time.
I didn't even know that was a thing. I thought it was just your by hour increments.
Until the first time I went there, I didn't either.
Huh.
Imagine trying to schedule a meeting with your coworker if you're working. That's brutal.
What do you
Working remote there must be impossible.
Wait, why?
because if I say like 10, then you're like, oh, well, that's 9 Eastern or whatever.
Gotcha.
But it's
7:30 a.m.
I hate it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, that
Aren't
is
other
interesting.
countries so stupid, guys?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Just use miles, dorks.
I was waiting for it. Matt, all right, so you got potentially 3 curling matches tomorrow?
Sure. Yeah, matches, games, whatever.
I didn't
Bonspiel.
know. So do you not guaranteed 3 games though? You got 1.
Right. Lose and go home, win and keep playing.
So do you have a flight booked to get back home?
Yes. It's on Sunday, where if we win the 3, I will have to change that.
Why?
Did you not think you were going to win the championship?
What do you mean the game is on Sunday? You just said that it's at 8 o'clock. Your last one could be at 8 o'clock.
So to win the tournament, I've got to play 4 more games. 3 of those 4 will be tomorrow, and then the championship final is on Sunday.
Okay, my bad.
So
the reason you booked that is, first of all, I fly enough where I got free changes on Delta. Obviously I have to pay the price difference of the ticket, but like they don't charge me to change my ticket. But you book out on the finals because only 2 of the 16 teams make it. So like, sure, you want to bank on it, but if it's not going to cost you anything, you just would rather get home a touch sooner.
Mm-hmm.
This is from over this is like 2 decades of experience where you're like, okay, I've booked out like after the tournament before, and you realize only 2 teams make it to Sunday anyway. And like theoretically, I could have lost yesterday and been done. Mm-hmm. I could have tried to find a ticket out today. So it's you book out just a touch early, and then if you win, you can afford to pay for whatever sort of price difference there might be in the tickets.
And you mentioned that your rental is over. So are you just going to go find some like random hotel to stay at?
Yeah, we're just going to get a hotel if we win and go to Sunday. And if we win our first game, which I'm going to have like a 5-hour break in between games or 4-hour break in between games, I'll probably go to a Tim Hortons.
Heck yeah.
Raise your hand if you know what that is.
Yes, I do know what it is. I've never been.
The coffee's garbo, but they actually have pretty good food.
All right.
But I'm a coffee snob, so it's fair.
You are a coffee snob. Well, we hope that you win in curling. We hope you win in your karaoke competition. We hope you do the karaoke competition. However, you're only allowed to do the karaoke competition if you're going to be the lip syncer and
send the video to us.
Yes, if you send a video to us.
All right,
that is
fair enough. If I get on stage, I'm sure there will be video to be had.
Yes.
So I will make sure you guys get your hands on that.
Channel your inner Cindy Crawford for us.
I don't know if I can do that twice in 1 week.
Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us, Matt. We appreciate you.
We'll see you guys. Have fun with the second hour.
Thank you. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Let's hear from Jim when he tells us about the Bruce Company.
Join the fun and celebration of harvest season. Jim Rutledge here, Saturday, October 12th. The Bruce Company in Middleton is the place to be. They're hosting their Family Fall Festival. They have a petting zoo, mini pumpkins, and face painting, and their awesome balloon artist will be on hand as well. The Bruce Company will transform into a fall wonderland, free to all, and no registration is necessary. Take the family to the Bruce Company on October 12th from 11 till 2. The Bruce Company in Middleton, and online at brucecompany.com.
Football fans, tailgating season is here. There's no better way to celebrate football being back than with Boda Box Wine. Boda Box is giving away tickets to 2 separate winners for a VIP Green Bay game day and tailgate party experience for the November 24th game against San Francisco. Fans, enter by scanning the QR code posted at participating Boda Box retailers in Wisconsin through October 30th. Winners will be announced on November the 1st. Please drink responsibly. Must be 21 years or older to enter. Boda Box Vineyards, Manteca, California. Visit ESPNWisconsinContest.com for more details.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this Sports Center Update is brought to you by ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day, brewed by Coors Light, capturing the spirit of game day in Madison with previews, reactions, and analysis before and after every Wisconsin football game this season. ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And the Badgers currently 14-point favorites as they take on Purdue at Camp Randall. 11 a.m. kickoff this Saturday. Tune into Wisconsin College Game Day starting at 9 a.m. live from Regent Street right here at 100.5 ESPN. Though the Badgers will be doing it without Chez Mellusi this weekend as he is stepping away from the program to continue rehabbing injuries that prevented him from playing to his expectations this season, per a statement from the Badgers program. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more on the Badgers as they head into their game against Purdue. And then another 2-2 football team in the state of Wisconsin, the Green Bay Packers, currently 3-point favorites against the Rams out in L.A. this weekend. That game kicking off at 3:30 p.m., though the Packers might be without 2 of their top receivers, Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs, both listed as doubtful. Watson dealing with a high ankle sprain. Doubs apparently dealing with a personal matter and is listed as day-to-day per Matt LaFleur. Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I don't know, but basically we rode up to the Viking game last year, got sick.
It's Murr.
I'm the fly from it's
Mister.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, let me ask you a
blowing
question.
my mind.
Matt, let me ask you a question. But like, it seems like you're deferring to someone that's not actually on the show. And she's already your girlfriend.
I'm bringing in the experts in my life, okay? And she is an expert on all things that I am not. And Ohio State football is one of them.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison, alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Molly Brown.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly Brown, alongside Alex G.
Hi.
With Ryan Wollersheim behind the glass. Matt Hamilton joined us. Matt Hamilton joined us a lot this week while he's been gone. That's been fun.
He's a changed man.
He is. Look at him go.
Something about those Coors Lights up in Canada. I don't know what it is.
Maybe. He's been crushing it. I don't know about you guys, but I'm hoping that he does do karaoke and we get video of it.
I feel like we need to mandate it, honestly. Like, I need to see Matt doing karaoke.
Yeah, like he's not allowed to go places unless he sends us a video.
He doesn't get to count this hour for his paycheck unless we get that.
He doesn't get paid unless we get a video.
He doesn't get his Coors Lights, yeah.
That sounded a little...
That sounded
weird.
harsh.
No, I think it's good.
It sounded a little inappropriate.
Oh, I mean, that's par for the course for Molly Brown.
Savage. Yeah, not on purpose, though, this time.
This time, yeah, exactly.
Jim is out camping, so I believe it's one of his last camping trips
What
of
a
the
family
season.
man.
He is. In his big blue truck. It's funny because we actually just got my son this toy. It's a camper, and then it has a blue truck that's like attached to it. So whenever my son is like playing with it, I think of Jim. And I know that sounds so weird, but I do.
People like
I've been meaning to send a picture of it to the group, but I just haven't yet.
At some point, your kid's going to start calling it the big blue truck, and it's just going to be ingrained in your family's livelihood forever.
There you go, and I'll be like, Jim
Like
Rutledge.
every time he sees a truck, he'll be like, "Oh, big blue truck," just because like it's going to be so deeply coded. Nailed it.
There you go. Lots of sports this weekend. Obviously, we chatted a little bit about the Brewers losing last night to the Mets. Tomorrow, we've got the Badgers taking on Purdue. I haven't looked at the spread since yesterday. It was at 14, then it went down to 13 and a half.
I mean, 14, 13 and a half. That's pretty similar.
It's now at 12 and a half.
12 and a half, really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Wisconsin's favored.
I think there's a lot of bettors who probably saw Wisconsin blow the second half against USC, and everyone knows Purdue is god-awful.
Mm-hmm.
They are like the worst team in the Big Ten this year, without a doubt.
Which is kind of crazy to me.
It's crazy considering the Badgers have not been great either, and Minnesota's not great right now. There's a few teams that are pretty down right now, but that being said, Purdue did lose by, 59 points to...
66 to 7 to
66
Notre Dame.
7 to Notre Dame. I believe they lost by 21 to Oregon State. Actually, 28, I think. And Oregon State is...
I haven't seen Oregon State this year. I can't imagine they're
I'll
any
tell
good.
you, they're not great.
No.
There's a reason they're in the Pac-2 now. No, Pac-8 now. Actually, it's back up to 8. But anyways, yes, G, looked like you were going to mention something about the Badgers.
Well, the big news out of Camp Randall is that Chez Mellusi's no longer on the team. He's stepping away from football indefinitely.
So I would say I don't know if you would say he's not on the team, but he's just not going to be with the program, according to the release from the team, because he's still working back from injuries that he sustained over the past 3 to 4 years with the team. In 2021, tore his ACL against Rutgers, broke his arm in 2022, missed 4 games, then missed 9 games in 2023 with a broken leg and broken ankle, which coincidentally was suffered against Purdue last year, and now he's missing the Purdue game this year.
I absolutely feel bad for the guy, right? That is a brutal. No one should go through a stretch of injuries that bad in sports. I recently came back from a collapsed lung and broken rib. I've broken an elbow playing. I've broken a foot playing. I've broken a hand playing. But that's over my entire life, and like he's gone through more than that in the past 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
And running back, let's not forget, is probably one of the most brutal positions to play. So you're not going to heal your body by continuing to fight through those injuries by playing.
But that line getting closer does kind of, I think that it coincides, right? Because the Badgers haven't really proven that they have a go out and blow the doors off a team kind of style yet. And yes, they did double up two bad teams, a MAC school, but like, even though Purdue stinks, they're a Big Ten school.
Those MAC schools were in contention with the Badgers up until like the fourth quarter of each of those games. Let's not forget.
By the way, one of those was not a MAC school.
Yeah,
one of those
FBS.
was an FCS. FCS.
I always get those switched.
It's tough. Letters are tough. I know.
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah, whatever. But sorry.
Yes, so their games against Western Michigan and South Dakota State. South Dakota.
No state, just the Dakota.
Okay, South Dakota. Okay.
Yeah. Talk about getting really confusing.
It is getting very confusing. I apologize.
And they're
to your
both
dyslexia.
top level FBS schools.
CS
schools.
You did it on purpose that time.
Yeah.
I don't know, Jim. But very close in those games. They've been
closer than they should have
near
been.
god awful to watch the other games. I mean, what are your guys' expectations going into this Purdue game? Because I have them winning. I believe when I sent my prediction for this game to our social media queen, Maddie, I believe that I have a 17-point game between them. I'm trying to think. I think my final score was 34-17 with the Badgers winning. Do I actually think that the Badgers can score 34 points? I have no idea. They were close last week. They were close in the first quarter, in the first half.
And part of it was because of muff punt by USC.
Yes.
USC, far better team than Purdue.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do think the issues with the running game, even on top of the passing game being weak for them, like it was not great with Chez Mellusi. I think they rank, I believe it's 89th in the country in yards per carry right now at like 4.07. Now, that's including a really tough game against Alabama, so you got to take that in there. But like we said, Western Michigan and South Dakota are also in there. So their running game hasn't been great. Their offense all around just has been poor. And now Braden Locke, a career 50% passer, is not going to add much plus side value to the team, to the air. And it's tough for Longo to have an air raid offense when you're trying to work with a backup quarterback.
It's funny that we're still trying to use this air raid word. I'm just over it at this point. I mean, I was over it last year.
You don't have the firepower to do it.
Right.
Like, full stop. Like, once the full recruiting class is in and everything is established, I think there's a chance the Badgers could still do air raid. You abandon the run by any means, and that's the thing that Barry Alvarez, Coach Barry Alvarez, he joins the Great Dane Huddle most Mondays.
Absolutely ridiculous.
You get it, Ryan. He says
this is utterly preposterous that I've even heard that. So you can tell Rutledge that.
Yeah, Rutledge, get whatever. Anyway,
Amen.
He says all the time that you can't get bored. You have to just keep running the ball. And this is one of those games. Don't get bored. Don't get too fancy. Don't get worried about it. Just keep pounding the rock. And yes, Luke Fickell said this past week that he wants to go down to a more 1, 2, 3 running back situation instead of going 4 or 5 deep, right? You're going to have a running back one. I don't know who it is, and necessarily, I don't care. Just start running, see who has the hot hand, stick with it, and then the small dink and dunk passes will come, and Braden Locke can get that 50% passing up to 60, 65%, and Purdue can't tackle. I went through and I watched a bunch of their highlights. They just have no one who's capable of tackling. So it's not some impossibly hard thing this week. It's just going out and being the better team, which the Badgers, for the first time this season, well, not for the first time this season, but for the first time the past 3 weeks, are. They are the better team.
So do you guys think that the Badgers offense could turn this season around without Chez Mellusi?
I think Chez Mellusi is an incredibly talented back. I think that his ceiling is so high. I think that the injuries have truly hampered. I mean, he can't train the way that all the rest of his teammates are training. He's had to rehab and come back from injury. So I I don't mean this in a negative way, but I don't think that this is the blow to the team that we all expect it to be.
See, that's interesting because I feel like, and Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like heading into the season, we were looking at Chez Mellusi as though he could potentially be the best player on this team. Like
heading into the season, he was expected to be the most consistent player.
Offensive
the guy,
player,
the guy who they were relying. Yeah, Hunter Wohler, Ricardo Holman, far and away the best players on the team in the secondary. But I think on offense, he was the one guy you thought you could count on, especially with questions of transfer quarterback Tyler Van Dyke. Will Pauling was really good on offense last year too, but he's dependent on how good his quarterback is. Whereas the running back, dependent on the offensive line, obviously. But usually if a guy's good enough, he can make up for that. But I think, like G was saying, it's just he's had to deal with so much that it's obvious that he wasn't able to perform at the way that most people expected him to. And I think you watched the game and it seemed like he was starting to wear down a lot quicker than he used to. And he wasn't getting explosive runs that he used to. I mean, the Badgers have 13 runs of 10-plus yards this season. That's like up in the hundredths ranking of FBS rankings. And that's out of 134 teams.
I don't know exactly where they rank, but I do know that Purdue is one of the worst in that category. Cade Giacomelli averaging 7.3 yards per carry this year. I think that he's going to get a chance to get a lot of touches this week. And if he can get to the outside because he's got that burner speed, I mean, he could just have a crazy game.
Yeah, he's an athlete. He's just fast. And that's what they need. That's what they need. That guy who can just provide a spark outside of Braden Locke to just help the offense.
He fumbled against, was Bama the last home game?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. He fumbled in that game.
He also doesn't have a touchdown, whereas Tyree Walker and Mellusi both have touchdowns.
Yeah, don't get it confused. Tui Walker is going to be the bell cow back now for them, the transfer from Oklahoma. He scored 2 touchdowns against USC as well. Darian Dupree is a true freshman who started playing a little bit in that USC game too. Jim Rutledge brought his name up on the jump around yesterday with Brad Nortman. These are the guys you kind of have to start watching out for now.
He's younger. He's younger, but he is a complete back. I'm excited to see what he does.
He's an actual true freshman, and he's a guy who could be expected to one day grow into like an all-around versatile receiving back role, a guy who fits that Air Raid Fickle or Luke Fickle, Phil Longo offense, whatever it is, the L's get me. I know how you feel.
It's fine. Malik Willis, Will Levis, we're all
that was so bad. That was unreal. I can't believe they were on the same team.
It's terrible.
What a mess.
Really. But anyways,
that's why they got rid of Malik Willis.
The Badgers' offense has been a mess with Chez Mellusi. I don't think it. All in all, I agree with you. I don't think it's going to be a huge loss for them, given how poor they were with him already. Though they're going to need other guys to step up for sure. Especially because Chez, hopefully while he's away from the program, maybe he can still be around as a leader because that is what he provided the most. He was a true leader, especially on offense. He's the core of that unit.
I'm going to need you to fact check this because I don't know if this is accurate or not. You actually might know this off the top of your head, but JJ Poinette says, note we have beat Purdue 17 straight times, dating back to the last time Purdue was actually a top 10 team.
I think you guys were talking about in the office today. That was when the Badgers beat them with Kyle Orton at quarterback. Yep. They pulled off an upset against Purdue back, I think that's 2005 or 4, I want to say. And yes, since then, they've never lost to Purdue.
That is wild.
It's pretty shocking. Purdue's been a decent Big 10 program. They're more of a Big 12 style team over the past few years. But the Badgers have always had their number, but this year, they should have their number again. It's just, are they going to get the win that they usually get against Purdue?
Are they going to cover is the real question.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the Badgers, if the Badgers lose this game, the season is lost. There's no way around it. But they will win. I believe they will win. Will they cover the 12.5? I think it's going to be really close. I think I had the final score at 24-13 in my notes.
24-13. That's way closer than I think.
It's
most
not covering.
Badger fans would.
It's not. You want it to be a 40-point game, and it absolutely could be, but you never know. Purdue also gives up a touchdown. They've given up a touchdown while on offense in 3 of their 4 games, so could be a good day for the defense.
Oh, so pick sixes or scoop and scores?
2 pick sixes, and then one that was I don't know if the ball was knocked out on a sack or if he was trying to throw it. It was a Will Levis style play. It was real bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey. Maybe that's a get right for the defense at the very least. Defense going to need to carry them going forward.
Oh, man.
And do you think their defense is good enough to carry them?
I do, but...
No,
especially, I mean, look at the... Let's just run... I know we got to get to break, but I just want to quickly run through the games that they have remaining. They have Purdue tomorrow, Rutgers at Rutgers, Northwestern at Northwestern, Penn State at home for homecoming. Then they go to Kinnick Stadium to play Iowa. Then they got Oregon at home. Then they go to Nebraska. And then they have Minnesota at home to finish out their season.
They're currently favored based off ESPN's analytics predictor. They're favored to win two of those games. Purdue, they're favored by 78% chance to win, so they should win resoundingly. Okay. And then Northwestern, they're given a 58.6% chance to win.
And I think they're right in it with Minnesota. I think it's a 46, 45. Okay,
yeah, 46, exactly. So, yeah, I really want to get down granular there, G. We got to get granular with this team right now. We need every edge we can get for the Badgers. But, yeah, it's going to be a really tough slate. And, yeah, if they don't get a true resounding win against Purdue, I'm not going to feel good at all for the rest of this year.
Like, they have to obliterate Purdue for you to even feel somewhat confident heading into Rutgers. And that sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. That is... Rutgers is good this year, but, yeah, the fact that is actually real for the Badgers is tough to accept for Badgers fans, including myself, including everyone here, I think.
Yeah. Don't know how the game tomorrow is going to pan out, but I do know what would pan out is a steak sandwich and a creme brulee from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Whoa.
I know. That actually sounds so good right now. Head over to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. Go say hi to Lee. Go enjoy their sizzle, swizzle, and swirl happy hour at their Horseshoe Bar. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella, how'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Visit PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 10/31/2024.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
I'm John Hayes, owner of Goodman's Jewelers. We've been at the heart of many magical moments, from engagements to weddings to sweet 16s. It warms my heart to be a part of these moments for 40 years with people I consider family. With the highest standards and an eye for classic beauty, enjoy a warm boutique setting at Goodman's Jewelers, where integrity shines in every gem. At 220 State Street, Goodman's Jewelers, the Diamond Store in Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
Hey friend, ready for a sweet trip down memory lane? Head to the bake sale at Quick Trip. Craving those fresh, oven-baked cookies like Grandma used to make? The Quickery's got 'em. Baked with love and a touch of that old-fashioned goodness. In a rush? Grab a muffin for just $1.19. A perfect on-the-go treat. From glazers to cake donuts. Indulge at the bake sale. So what are you waiting for? Treat yourself. Only at Quick Trip.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122. 800-909-8122.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Metro Ford of Madison is Madison's trusted Ford dealership. Whether you're in the market for a new or new-to-you vehicle, Metro Ford of Madison has the customer service that's second to none. Metro Ford is also the home of the 2 years no-charge maintenance offer on new vehicle purchases, making it the place to go for the new Ford of your dreams. Browse their inventory, schedule a service, or see this month's offers at metrofordofmadison.com. That's metrofordofmadison.com.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a 12-pack of 20-ounce bottles of Water Joe at your local Pick and Save or Metro Market. 2 for $10 now until October 12th. Simply purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. A great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drink. Get that 12-pack of 20-ounce of Water Joe for $10 through October 12th at your local Pick and Save or Metro Market locations. Hydrate and energize with Water Joe.
Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Off-Broadway Draft House. Enjoy a traditional Friday fish fry at Madison's favorite neighborhood gathering spot, Off-Broadway Draft House.
It is a Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly, a gymless and a matless Jim, Matt, and Molly, but I am joined by Alex G. And Ryan Wollersheim behind the glass. The best way to cap off a Fish Friday, actually not cap off because I guess we still have a couple more segments, but a quick staple of a Fish Friday on Jim, Matt, and Molly is...
Not even 75% of the way through the show.
Wait, yeah.
What do you mean?
We're not capping it off yet.
Guys, it's almost 5:30. What are you talking about?
It's not yet.
And I just corrected myself that I'm not capping it off. I still have a couple more segments.
Yeah, I mean, we still have... this...
Chill champs. We still got pole dancing. Don't forget. We
All
still
right. I was worried you were about to throw to pole dancing, if I'm being honest. I was like...
No, I saw your face, and I was like, why does he look like panicked, as if he doesn't know where we're going with this right now? That was weird. No, we got to get to Don't Quote Me, which has quickly become one of my favorite segments that we do.
We're not saying it's gonna happen.
Let it ride!
But if it does, then we want credit.
Say that again, because that is an amazing take.
I told
you all.
If not, well...
We're here.
Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said...
Yeah, guys, so this is our third time doing Don't Quote Me Now, heading into a football weekend. So the moral of the story here is that we want to give our long shot prediction for whether it's... I mean, we could expand it to Packers, Badgers if we want to, primarily focusing on the Packers game this weekend. But what's your long shot prediction for something that's going to happen in this game that if it does happen, we're getting the credit, we're getting to roll in the glory of saying we called it. And if it doesn't happen, don't worry because you can't quote me anyways. So you get all the credit and none of the, I don't know, all the credit, none of the,
Repercussions?
Repercussions, we'll say that.
Which, you say that, I have caught a lot of strays for my Don't Quote Me.
Well, that's because yours was stupid, though. That's the thing.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
It's more of a game to say who's the furthest off with their prediction.
And he was the furthest off because
By
who
far.
the hell is going to
was
pick
not-
Rashawn Gary to have 5 sacks when that's like more than he's had in his entire
8.
career?
He
almost.
had 9.5 last year. He led the team in sacks last year.
So he can't get to double-digit sacks as he's getting paid a boatload of money, yet you thought he was going to get halfway to double-digit sacks in one game?
And I would also say I wasn't
take.
that far off because he started the game off with a sack. It got called back, and the team had a ton. So my rationale was good.
No. Okay, so I said the same.
This is about results, not
Not
See,
process.
If you would have broadened it to be the entire team, similar to how I did for Sam Darnold last week, where I said that the Packers were going to get 4 sacks on Sam Darnold, I was wrong, but they were close. They had 2, right?
You were halfway there.
Exactly. Oh, we're halfway there. Yeah, you were not. You were not. You had almost 1. I would even be nice to you and say that Rashawn Gary did have 1. It just got called back. But that's the nicest I'm going to be to you.
Yeah, no need to be nice, guys. So, Molly, why don't you start us off? What is your don't quote me prediction for the Packers game against the Rams this weekend?
All right, my don't quote me this weekend. Jordan Love will throw for 400 yards and have no turnovers. No fumbles, no interceptions, nothing against the Rams. How you like that? Pretty good, right?
400 yards. I mean, based off what he did last weekend, I mean, he had his career high with 393 passing yards?
But there was also a lot of interceptions.
Oh, 3 interceptions, 4 touchdowns. But yeah, I think it was
lost fumble.
52 passing attempts, I want to say. Career high as well for Jordan Love.
Yeah, it was a lot.
You hope you don't see that in this game.
I hope I don't. Well, I hope I see him light the Rams up. I just hope that there's no turnovers.
All right. Well,
that's a good one, right?
That's a good one. I mean, that's a lot of yardage.
You want me to up it to like 500 to make it even crazier?
Oh my goodness. No, he doesn't need to be Kirk Cousins last night.
That was wild. What did he end up with? 440 something?
I think it was 508.
No.
I think it was a season high for the NFL.
At 509, it was the season high in the NFL, and it is 15th all time, I believe.
Wow. Okay.
I checked that earlier today. It was either 15th or 13th. I can't remember.
But that was
now.
also including overtime, correct?
So
yes,
yes,
that's fair.
Yes. The Rams are giving up 219 yards through the air per game, which is not that many. It's pretty middle of the pack. So I think that's a little crazy. But I'm gonna. You mentioned we could expand this to Badgers and Packers. Are you stand by that?
I mean, we do like to keep it Packers specific. But why don't you do a Badgers one on top with your Packers
Okay, because
one?
my Packers one is going to stand. Josh Jacobs, I'm probably the lowest on Josh Jacobs on the station. Josh Jacobs is going to run for 125 plus yards and 2 scores.
Okay.
So I could be receiving or rushing? Or are you saying
no, they're
only
both rushing? I wanted so badly to say he does something he's never done before. He catches his first touchdown in the NFL. But that's not the recipe to beating the Rams. The Rams just bleed yardage and touchdowns on the ground.
But yet you also wanted him to be added to that he could potentially be the second receiver this weekend? The number 2 receiver?
I stand by that. I think he belongs in that conversation. It won't happen, but he belongs in the conversation. He's going to get like 3 receptions early in the game. We're all going to be like, oh, was it going to happen? And then it's just going to be running the ball the rest of the game because it's going to be a similar game plan to against Tennessee. They're so bad against the running back.
I'm not a mathematician. We all know that, but the math ain't mathing on yours.
So 125 on the ground plus 2 touchdowns. But my extended for the Badgers as well is the Packers and Badgers together will rush for 325 plus yards.
So, okay. So you already have Josh Jacobs rushing for 125 yards.
Yes.
So you need to get 200 from somewhere else, and that could be
the Badgers.
The
Badgers.
Emmanuel Wilson, too.
I was going to say.
Sure, we can.
He'll give you 50, maybe.
No. If we include that, we'll go up to 350. I made that up while you were talking, so this other take. But I'm going to put it, 350 total for the for Wisconsin sports on the ground.
All right, well, there's a lot to quote from Alex G this week. Why don't we hear from our fearless Jim Rutledge, as he did send his videos.
Our fearless leader? Is that where you were going to go with that?
No, I wouldn't say leader. He's a fearless Jim Rutledge. And he's taking the video from his Big Blue truck. Let's listen.
I got to don't quote you for everyone as I'm in my Big Blue truck from Simmons Chevy in Mount Horeb. My don't quote me is that both Matthew Stafford, who is a future Hall of Fame quarterback and who is closer to Aaron Rodgers' career than we want to admit, and I think he's got another Super Bowl in him, he's going to throw 3 touchdowns against the Packers. Jordan Love's going to throw 3 touchdowns against the Rams. The Packers will win, but the quarterbacks will each throw 3 touchdowns in this game.
Ooh, I kind of like that one.
I do too.
I thought it was going to be Matthew Stafford's going to throw 3 touchdowns and then just the Packers are dead after that. But that's not where it went.
In Jim's perfect world, that's what's going to happen. I mean, we know that. But I mean, I don't know. G, how would you say spiciness scale? Where was Jim's prediction?
He didn't say. Yeah, I like it. I don't think it's too spicy. Like, these are supposed to be kind of outlandish, right?
I mean, they're supposed to be more than kind of. They're supposed to be outlandish.
They're supposed to be crazy. So then if they actually happen, then it's like you feel like God.
I'm not like shocked if there are 6 touchdowns in this game and they're all through the air, but I think it's way more likely that it's a ground game assault.
We'll see. Well, Molly Brown, I think Matt Hamilton might have been listening to you when you gave your prediction for Don't Quote Me. Let's listen to Matt's.
Hey gang, Matt Hamilton here with my Don't Quote Me. here in beautiful Charlottetown, PEI.
It is really pretty
marina
there.
area right now. Fantastic. But don't quote me on this for the Packers, but I think Jordan Love is going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns this weekend.
Oh, my gosh.
I think it's a pretty good call. Listen, Jim, Matt, and Molly every day.
They're not going to need to. They're going to win by 20.
4 touchdowns.
So what was
Missing
yours,
wide
Molly?
receivers 2 and 3?
Mine was 400 yards, no turnovers.
400 yards, no turnovers.
So
All
I
right.
guess that probably means a lot of touchdowns.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily. It could be Josh Jacobs getting those touchdowns.
We could both be right.
There's a lot of correlation in the predictions this week.
That's
so
kind of fun.
It's going to be interesting. So I'm happy that I didn't have mine related to the ground game or to Jordan Love's passing stats.
Defense.
Not the defense. The guy who I think
Narvison
will be the leading receiver in this game.
Narvison,
and quickly
yeah.
becoming my favorite Packer, Tucker Kraft.
Oh.
That's South Dakota State. Hoss, the Jackrabbit. I think he's going to have a career best game. I think without Christian Watson, if Romeo Doubs doesn't play, which who knows right now, I think this could be his game. I think he was going to maybe score 2 touchdowns had he not fumbled against the Vikings this past weekend. I'm saying he's having a career best day. He's getting at least 7 catches, at least 65 yards, at least 2 touchdowns.
He's available in fantasy football.
Repeat your stat line. What is it?
I'm saying he's getting at least 7 catches,
Okay.
at least 65 yards, and at least 2 touchdowns. Those would all be career best marks for him.
That's hot.
It is.
That's the spiciest take, for
That's a
sure.
lot.
I think if Luke Musgrave is also maybe not playing too, I mean, they could be really down receivers. I just like to see Tucker Kraft slipping out on a lot of easy play action passes, letting Josh Jacobs do all the work, and then Tucker Kraft gets to roll in the glory in the end zone. Yeah.
Let's hope he slips it out.
Slips it out.
That's what you just said.
Why? I said he slips out on a play action.
No, you said slips it out.
Slips it out? I mean, look.
That was the most Ryan.
It's a Friday.
Yeah, we do have pole dancing coming
It
up
is
next.
coming next.
I was going to say that was the most Ryan-esque take you could have because it was incredibly detailed.
Never slip it out.
Well, I just looked
No,
up.
not that part. I meant the numbers.
Oh,
7
that's
catches,
pretty
65
detailed.
yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a lot of
I
details.
thought about adding the carries for our guy, Josh Jacobs. For your guy, Josh Jacobs. He's not my guy.
He's Matt's guy, really. Matt
Matt's
loves
guy.
him.
Yeah.
He is
Great
on-
smile.
he
Really
is-
happy guy.
He is on my Jim, Matt, and Molly fantasy team.
Good week to have him. Who are you playing?
I don't remember,
Well, they're
but I
gonna
think
lose.
I actually won last week against AC and Tosa, which, by the way, that reminds me, and I need to do this in the break. I looked at one of my fantasy things yesterday. I decided I'm in 4 leagues this year. It's atrocious. I'm never doing this again. I think I'm going to have 1 league next year, and that's it. But I was looking, and I was projected to get 45 points, and I was like, wow, why only 45 points? Turns out everybody's on a bye week or everybody's hurt. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, I beat you by like 75 us.
Doesn't
this
surprise
past
me. And
week.
I legit set my lineup too. That is the problem. This is whatever. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Let's hear from Jim as he tells us about Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and Middleton.
Chalmers Jewelers is Madison's family-owned and Madison's custom jeweler. Whether you go to the Madison or Middleton location, you're going to run into either Garrett, Devin, Ruth, or Scott Chalmers, and you're going to have an opportunity to work with one of their great custom jewelers. Their stunning jewelry never fails to impress, better yet, it's custom. So whether you want to treat someone special in your life or treat yourself, go to Chalmers Jewelers in Madison or in Middleton.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nessa Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Forget about the front row. The best seat and the best place to be on game day is Off-Broadway Draft House for all the sports. Check out our new game day menu with tostado nachos and featuring $2 hams on tap. Those specials are available all day on Saturdays and Sundays. Find out firsthand why Off-Broadway Draft House was Madison's People's Choice winners for favorite bar, wait staff, and more. Game day, any day. Discover what others already know. Off-Broadway Draft House. Come for the beer, stay for the food.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our unique weight loss program makes it easy to lose weight, get healthy, and get your energy back naturally, safely, and effectively. If you'd like to lose unhealthy fat without counting points, no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects, go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation in person or virtually.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Thanks to the expert coaching and guidance from Madison Weight Loss, I've lost 35 pounds and I'm still hoping to lose more. I'm fitting into clothes I haven't worn in years. I'm feeling naturally more energized. Really, I'm just feeling great. Madison Weight Loss is exactly the program I needed to live a healthier life.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. For your free private weight loss consultation, call 608-774-7241 or go to MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Matt Hamilton here to tell you about my friends at Revive Restoration. Nobody plans for accidents to happen, but when they do, you can count on Revive to be professional, efficient, and detail-oriented as they make things right again. Revive Restoration.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
It takes a team to meet just about any goal, and that's as true on the football field as it is in the office. So it's good to know that you have the Gordon Flesh Company on your side. For more than 60 years, GFC has provided cutting-edge office technology for companies of all sizes, and as the nation's largest Canon dealer, GFC delivers the latest office technology, service, and is supported by the most experienced professionals in the industry. That's business technology managed. Visit gflesh.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
When I see the connection, though I see, I don't stare. Though I see, I don't stare.
We haven't heard from Dave in Deerfield until now, of course. He said Naughty Molly rears her dirty mind once again. That was Ryan's fault. Savage.
We were all thinking it.
I think we were.
Everyone in this room was thinking it.
In that room, yes.
Yes, and then Ryan did not catch it at all.
Yeah, Chrissy and I do not have dirty minds. We are above that.
That's wrong.
Thank you guys.
You are wrong in saying that, and you are lying
Why would
when
you say that about Chrissy? Why would you imply that?
I'm not
about
talking
her?
about Chrissy. I'm talking about you. You are inappropriate. That is why you are part of the show.
Well, you know, it's not inappropriate to bring up that Chrissy is now a certified board producer here at ESPN Madison. Let's go.
Yay, more females in content. I love it.
Yes. Yes, and somebody to run the Prep Mania board tonight. Let's go.
Very true, very true. Getting more work off your plate, Ryan. So good
Appreciate
for you. We've got to get into pole dancing.
We asked,
which is a little inappropriate to bring up.
Coming to the stage,
Just a little. It is.
It's pole dancing
Again,
on
the show.
Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Hey now.
Presented by Metro Kia of Madison,
what
Madison's
time does-
trusted Kia dealership.
Is this Western Michigan Broncos on the screen right
That
here?
is the Western Michigan
Are they
Broncos
taking
on
on
the
Ball
screen.
State?
Yeah.
They would appear to be. Alex G.
I went to school there for 2 years where I did not learn to ask questions. That was UW. Don't get me wrong. Ball State, a fine place.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. It's a fine place.
It's
Good old Test Your
utterly
Tech.
preposterous.
All right, well,
Hey,
guys, why don't we see if some of the poll questions this week around ESPN Wisconsin have been utterly preposterous.
This is utterly preposterous that I've even heard.
And I want to start out with Kyle Bruston Norman. Their psych final poll of the week was, does it make you nervous that Sunday feels like an easy win for the Packers? 51% of fans said yes, nervous. 49% of fans said no, Packers will win. Now I want to ask you guys, before you even respond, do you feel like the game against the Rams is an easy win for the Packers right now?
Yes.
No. What? How do you feel?
They lost to the Bears.
So what?
Jim Rutledge would have a lot to say about that one, G.
The Bears are a terrible organization.
So you
they
can
have
tell Rutledge
no
that.
defense. The Rams have no defense, and they're built to just outscore teams, but they're missing their only two scorers.
Okay. All right. So, G, seems like you're not nervous at all?
No, I'm not nervous. I think that the Green Bay Packers are a good team, and yes, they've had two mishaps against two of the better teams in the league, and they're going to show out and play fantastic. They're going to win. It's going to be lopsided.
Molly?
I don't know what the heck the Rams are. I feel like, and this kind of goes back to our previous conversation yesterday and earlier today, talking about the Brewers, where I am so passionate about the Packers and I care so much about them that I am never counting any week as a dub. Like, there is never one that I'm just like, yep, that's a win. Because I think anything can happen. We talk about all the time in the NFL. The NFL is wild. It's like, I'm nervous for the Jags game in a couple weeks. I know everybody's saying, oh, the Jags aren't even a real football team, but just watch. That's going to be the week that they end up coming out and becoming a real NFL team, is against the Packers. Like, that is how my mind works. I am pessimistic because I am guarding my heart about it. So
Open up.
This to me is not an easy dub. I mean, you can look at what was this? September 8th, was that the first week? They just barely lost to the Lions in overtime. Yeah, they got murdered by the Cardinals.
When they had a full team.
They beat the Niners. They barely lost to the Bears, but like...
They're the Bears. It's such a bad team. Yeah.
But you say that right now, but like there's real potential for the Packers to drop at least one against the Bears.
You think that's going to happen?
Potentially, yes.
I'm not worried about it.
I think they could lose one game to each. I'm not trying to get into a whole entire prediction of the season, but I think there's a very real chance that they could drop one game to each of their divisional opponents.
G's making me feel nervous, to be honest, with how confident he is right now. I hate it.
Exactly.
I absolutely hate it.
I'm open to pain right now. You know what? I'm opening myself up to be hurt, and I'm ready. I'm ready to love the Green Bay Packers
Well,
this weekend.
speaking of which, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning, they weren't feeling a lot of pain after the Brewers dropped wild card game 3 against the Mets last night, losing 4-2, being bounced in their first playoff series for the 5th time in the last 6 years. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy asked, do you feel quote unquote cursed as a Wisconsin sports fan? 193 respondents, 65% saying yes, 35% saying no. Molly Brown, are you a cursed Wisconsin sports fan?
As a Wisconsin sports fan, it's easy to say yes, you are cursed, because it feels like you're almost there all the time and then it ends. But then I think about it, and I was thinking about this because I did listen to Gabe Neitzel and Alex Strope this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But like I was thinking, I'm like, are we lucky because we are in these situations? And I know that sounds crazy, but like, how many other states and fan bases can you say are consistently in the playoffs with multiple teams? Is there that many?
Dallas.
I mean,
yeah, Texas as well.
LA, that's a massive market.
Seattle's usually pretty baseball. They're not great. They don't have a basketball team.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah,
they're a good football team.
Yeah.
Arizona, they have the Cardinals and the Suns and the Diamondbacks. Those are all wishy-washy all the time.
Florida's won a lot lately.
That's a big state, though. You got to pick it by like the area.
Yeah, which part? Are you talking Jacksonville? Are you talking
Miami?
Tampa? Miami?
It all blends
Miami? Do
together
you want to
for
be
me.
in Miami's spot right now?
I never want to be in
couple
Miami.
years?
Just full stop.
New York?
I think the Miami Heat is a fun team to be a fan of. They lose in big moments, but they're never supposed to be there, right? They get there.
They always
That's
beat
exciting.
the Bucks. They always beat the Bucks. Carolina?
Not always.
Carolina, tough.
You're going to be Panthers and the Hornets?
Hurricanes always lose in the playoffs in dramatically tragic fashion, too. I have a friend who's a Hurricanes fan.
The more I think about it here...
Wisconsin is very lucky, I think.
Yeah.
And I know it doesn't feel like it right now. Sorry, Brewers fans, but we are very, very lucky. Minnesota.
Yeah. They are like...
Timberwolves are finally good.
Michigan. To say pro sports in Michigan? The Tigers?
Yeah.
They made the playoffs this year, but who knows what happens with them against the Yankees. The Lions, up until the last 2 years, have been the cellar dwellers of the NFC North.
They have Michigan for college.
The Pistons haven't been good since 2005. I mean, it could be a lot worse.
It could be so much worse.
It could be.
Here's a weird thought. Okay, the Packers are not cursed. They're just not quite there. But like they've always been great. I do not feel cursed as a Packer fan. The Badgers might be cursed. I don't love where they're going. The Brewers it's a money thing. I don't think that's a curse. We don't have ownership who's willing to go crazy. The one team that is the closest to being cursed is the Bucks. They have their guy. They have great talent. They're just never healthy at the right time, or something goes wrong. But they won a championship.
Since the championship.
Should be more competitive in the postseason than they have been. And it's been a little bit out of their hands. They're cursed.
Regular season is fantastic, and then postseason, it's wah-wah.
Postseason, it is like tragic, and it's a calamitous like stuff happens to them. Like truly.
But they're so good. And we've won a championship in 4 years ago? So
yeah, it was 2021. Really? 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a long time ago, I'll be honest.
It does. A. Santosa says, Molly pessimism for the win. Agreed, don't sleep on teams. Did I win? Savage.
We'll give it to you, Molly.
All right. Cool. If you want to be a winner, hear from Jim Rutledge.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison every weekend. They have hundreds of winners and millions of dollars won at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. What are you waiting for? Head there this weekend. Ho Chunk Gaming Madison is for winners.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Step into nostalgia with the Miller High Life Dive Bar of the Week. Listen to Jim, Matt, and Molly every Thursday to find out where you can enjoy $2 Miller High Lifes and High Life Lights. To celebrate our love for dive bars, we are going to tell you about some of our favorites, including one featured dive bar that will offer $2 High Lifes and High Life Lights for the week. Taste the champagne of beer in its natural environment. A delightfully different dive bar in Wisconsin like Cahoots Bar, The Wisco, Tootsie's Bar and Grill, and the Nitty Gritty in Middleton.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Attention business owners and executives. Looking for a bank that's invested in your community as you are? Look no further than Starion Bank. As a Dane County community bank, Starion offers competitive deposit and loan rates while actively supporting local initiatives. Visit a business banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, and Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, full-service business banking, lending, and cash management.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style pizza, an upgrade to their classic crispy thin crust. Cut into 16 snackable squares and loaded to the edge with bold, flavorful toppings. Try one of their 4 new signature recipes, the spicy chicken sausage, the pesto margarita, the double pepperoni, or the ultimate. Because for a limited time, you can get any large specialty Tavern-style pizza for only $12. Go thinner, go crispier, go bolder with Pizza Hut's new Tavern-style crust. Order online today at pizzahut.com. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Metro Kia of Madison is Madison's trusted Kia dealership, and they are home to the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service your vehicle, Metro Kia of Madison is the place to go. As always, at Metro Kia of Madison, you can enjoy 2 years of no-charge maintenance on any new vehicle. Browse their inventory and find this month's special at metrokiaofmadison.com. That's metrokiaofmadison.com. Find your new vehicle at your trusted Kia dealership today.
Gruber Law Offices presents Thanalysis.
80% the second bump after the second bump, it's a move.
A podcast from Thanasis Antetokounmpo.
Oof da.
That means absolutely everything.
Also supported by Carbless, premium ready-to-drink cocktails.
The now quarterback for the Green Bay Packers.
And Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee.
Jordan Love.
Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
For 71 years, Daniels Construction has been building better futures, people, and communities right here in South Central Wisconsin. As an award-winning contractor, they specialize in a diverse workload and self-performing services. Daniels Construction is proud to be an employee and family-owned business. And as a dedicated youth apprentice employer, you can start or advance your career with their multi-trade opportunities and on-the-job paid training. Build your future with Daniels Construction today. Visit daniels-co.com to learn more.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
This is Devin Robinson from Badger Volleyball, here with Madison's best roofing, siding, and window company, Ridgetop Exteriors. I protect the net at the field house, and they protect your home. They're trusted, local, and affordable. Go to ridgetopexteriors.com today. That's ridgetopexteriors.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
They dance above me as I sing. I see them through a crystal haze and hear their sweet sound bouncing round.
Taking you into your weekend with some Fish Friday. Molly Brown alongside Alex Ravat with Ryan Wollersheim behind the glass. Badgers take on Purdue tomorrow. Last we looked, they were 12.5-point favorites. Do we know the line for the Packers-Rams game?
3-point favorites.
Yeah,
Packers are.
Yes.
How are you guys feeling about that? What are your final little score predictions?
G, why don't you go first?
So, okay, I think that the Green Bay Packers are going to just decimate that line. I've got them at 31-10 is my final score. The Rams just they're falling apart, and they're a fine franchise, but for so many years, they've traded away first-round picks to get guys, and those guys got them to a Super Bowl, and it was excellent, and now there's nothing around them. All of your guys are injured. They're last in the league in rush yards per game. They're last in the league in yards per pass attempt. I mean, they're just not in a good spot. So I think the Packers are going to run all over them, and then I've got the Badgers winning 24-13. I think it's going to be a win.
I think the Badgers are going to get a decisive win, too. I think like 30-13. I think that the defense might actually score a few times against Purdue. Because
let's go.
They better. They better, please.
Let's go.
Give me a reason to feel good about this Badgers team, please. Packers, I would pick them to win for sure. I definitely don't think it's a decimation. I think Matthew Stafford's a really good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
I really hope that Jordan Love can one day be what Matthew Stafford is as a quarterback.
Just healthy.
Healthy, yeah, and I know he'll never have as strong of an arm as Matthew Stafford because he's unique, like Patrick Mahomes level arm strength. But I think he could be that tier of quarterback one day. And I think the Rams, Sean McVay is a hell of a coach, man. Like, as good as Matt LaFleur is, I think Sean McVay is as good, if not better.
He's never beat Matt LaFleur.
He's never beaten Matt LaFleur, but...
Which is crazy. 4-0?
You can say... Never say never until it happens, though. It could happen.
Yeah, knock on wood on that one.
So you can tell Rutledge that.
That is a Rutledgeism, by the way.
Who do you got?
What's a Rutledgeism?
Yeah, you can say just because it's never happened doesn't mean it won't happen.
Oh, gotcha.
Unless he's using that argument, then it's never going to happen.
Gotcha. I am on a similar page with you guys. First up, I have the Badgers winning 35-17. Then, which is a lot of points, and I don't know.
Smash the over.
And then I have the Packers winning 28-14 when they head out to LA. So, we'll see. I hope we're all right.
We're in the same boat here.
We are all in sync. We are all in the same boat.
Double dub.
Hopefully they come true. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Have a good weekend.